Hey, what's up? I don't know if y'all can hear me or see me. I'm trying to look at this on my old phone, and it's not pulling up, so I'm not sure if I'm talking to anybody right now. And it could just be a delay. Hey, what's up, everybody that's in here? Can y'all hear me? Is my phone just super laggy? Can y'all see me? I can't see myself on this phone. Is it just because it's super old and needs to update? I'm not getting super crafty. I'm trying some stuff. So, I don't know what to do. Can y'all see me? I guess loud and clear. Okay. This is not where I wanted. Is my head in the picture? That's why I was even using this to begin with. I'm gonna quit holding this now. You're good. All right. So I got to like 551 subs or something like that. So thanks everybody that's still here with me and fighting the good fight and stuff like that. But wait, I had kydex somewhere. Oh man, I had everything laid out. I think I found it. Hang on just a second. Also, since I'm not looking at the screen, I totally meant to have this here so I could look at the chat too. Hey, there I am, looking at the phone. You can't see my head. Okay, hang on. So I'm slightly above the microwave. Boom, how about that? Perfect, look at that. Yeah, doing good. Thanks everybody that's here. I'm gonna be super preoccupied reading with this stuff now. It'll probably be fun. Anyway, so I've got a holster build to do. This is super distracting. I'm sorry, I'm new to this. But anyway, so this is kydex. For everybody that doesn't know what kydex is, join the boat or the club, get in the boat, row your boat gently down the stream. Anyway, so it's some kind of like PVC acrylic stuff, but you heat it up and it gets all flexible and stuff. And I've got a gun that a customer wanted me to make a holster for. So you heat it up, you put some foam around it, and you clamp it down in some boards and stuff, and hopefully you get a holster out of it. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in the oven and let that get warm. All right, and I heat mine up to 300 degrees, and I will just let it come up to temperature with the oven, and it's usually done by the time the oven gets done preheating. But what's up, Ethan? If I miss you in the chat, I'm sorry. I'm not looking at a screen, and I've got a second phone here, and I'm just not paying attention. Also, I can't read raw type. But oh no, it doesn't smell at all. It's not like it's got just a little bit of a warm plastic smell, I guess, like a little more than heating up Tupperware in the microwave, I guess, but it's not bad. So what I'm doing now, let's see if you can see this. Okay. So on semi-automatics, there's a little cutout right there, and I like to take a little piece of foam and kind of like block that off, because as you're pressing it, the kydex will get in there and it'll screw the holster up. It doesn't really screw it up, but like you can take a heat gun and fix it, but it's just easier to go ahead and block that off and not worry about it. And also, oh man, let's see what happens. Also, I take the trigger guard up. A lot of people will make enough definition that you can actually see the trigger in there, but it just makes the draw and the reholstering super difficult to me. So I make it to where my retention is on the outside of the trigger guard. Anyway, that's just a little tip. You do what you want if you're making holsters. It's your holster. And then on this back side, the the guy I'm making it for wants an outside the waistband holster, and he's right-handed. So I'm going to take a block and tape here where the paddle is going to go. The paddle. And that'll go there, and that'll just keep the screws off of the gun when the holster's finished. So I'm going to take that up real quick. What's up, farmer? What kind of pistol you got, Fitz? So here's my thing. I don't have a problem making holsters at all, except people that aren't local that have guns that aren't Glocks. Because everybody that's local, that's all they have. They're like, yeah, I got a Glock. And I'm like, great. You're not helping me with people that are in like Colorado or California or whatever. But that's my issue, is like I can't find access to local guns. I'm sure I could somehow get a nice relationship with a pawn shop or something, and they would let me. But I feel like that's kind of a shot in the dark. Like, hey man, I'm gonna borrow this gun if you don't mind, and I'll bring it back in a couple days when I get done building this holster. And I'm like, yeah, but you just you see the door over there, go find it or something. So this is kind of like precariously taped on here, but it won't matter when I get the clamp on there, that'll stay. But I asked him, where he wanted the ride height and everything, and he wanted the belt pretty much even with the trigger guard. So that's where I put this little block out for that. It may be just a little bit far forward, and it looks pretty good. Anyway, once I mold it, if it's not right, I can mold it again. You can remold this, 4 or 5 times without damaging it. It's pretty cool stuff. Let's see. And these are just 2x8s, just scraps that I had like after I built a bed or something. And I just heat this foam up. The hotter that you can have, like the gun and the foam and everything, when you clamp it, the better definition you'll get out of it. So just kind of keep everything warm, and then just let it come back down to room temperature, a little bit hotter. Yeah, I started making them because I carry a revolver, and there's not a lot of options for revolvers. And so, like, I went to church with some folks, and they're like, yeah, you just make them. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And so I watched some videos online, and they're like, yeah, you just do this. And I'm like, there's no way that it's that easy. It's pretty much that easy. Like, I learn a little bit probably every time I make a holster, but the basic gist of it, it's like, there's not a lot to it. It's getting pretty close to done on the bottom rack, so I guess I heat it up a little bit faster. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is my craft. I've told most of you, I feel like, but I do just a little bit of everything. So, like, I don't know, I build holsters and I build furniture and I cook and I don't know. I weld a little bit, so it's like, man, that's all crafty stuff, I guess. Let's see. I'm probably not gonna have enough time to mess with this and tell you exactly or show you what's going on, but I'll try and explain what I'm doing as I do it. Let me get these clamps ready. All right, here we go. So what I like to do, I went ahead and cut this to length before y'all got here, and I like to try and match up the bottom lines and just set them on this foam. This is a huge gun, by the way. Like I carry a big gun, and I was a little bit surprised when I got this, because I was like, dang, that thing, and that's not how I wanted to do it. Let me set it on that one. It's probably as heavy as my revolver, and I carry a big gun, you know, so I was very surprised. Bring that down just a little bit. What's up, Just 8? Enjoy clamping some stuff in here and hoping everything comes out all right. That doesn't look terrible. Let's see, did I miss anything while I was clamping? What are we cleaning? Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess there's a learning curve to it, but I don't know. I feel like maybe it's a bell curve. Like, I feel like you can start learning and learn a whole lot real and be pretty decent at welding. And then once you get to kind of where everybody else is, there's still an awful lot to learn, but I mean, there's just a very few people that learn like all there is to it. So, like, I learned on a stick welder, and I mean, I don't know, it was okay. I never had like beautiful looking welds, and I still don't have great looking welds, but they're not bad. But I weld with a MIG welder now, and it's exponentially easier. I can probably weld left-handed with no helmet on a MIG welder as good as I can with an auto tenting right-handed on a stick welder. It's significantly easier. I'm hoping that turns out okay, but so everybody having a great Thursday and stuff, and it's like 10 days into the year, so there's that, right? Where am I at? I probably should have updated this, I don't even know. I've got the old version of YouTube on this phone, so like the app's not the same as it is there. It's just a little bit different for me. Yeah, like it's gonna be Christmas again in like 12 months or so. It's nuts. I think. Let's see. I think I'm gonna take a look and see what this looks like. I got my doubts, and I may wind up having to put a different block in there. That was a lot. Took up a lot more room than I thought it was going to. I barely got those clamps on there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut that. So let's see how. I guess I could just come behind the camera and see, but so you get like this custom fit of the gun in there, but what happened since that block was so big, the trigger guard, I mean it's covered, but it's not covered very tightly, and that's the big thing. Like that's a kind of a safety thing where like you wouldn't want stuff getting up in there and pulling the trigger while you're toting it. So I'm just gonna remold that and cut that block a little smaller. Let's see. What's up, Jimmy? Yeah, hit that thumbs up button, guys, because that does something. One day I'll be smart enough to know what all this stuff that everybody says does, but until then I'm just going to copy everybody. It's basically how I made it through school. Not really. I was pretty smart, I think. You see that super clean pocket knife cut right there? Because I'm, just good like that. So let's see what it looks like this time. Yes, I was almost a doctor. Thank you, Lacey. That's a story that's been told. I'm not gonna say that it won't get told again, but probably not tonight. What is up, weekend warrior? Yeah, that's a good call, Joy. I mean, I'm 6'2". I should be a model. I really should. That's got a little ways to go. Yes, it is. What is this? A TZ75, like a Italian clone of a CZ, something like that. I didn't even know. I don't do semi-autos, so I don't really do handguns. I just happen to be good at stuff. So here we are. Yeah, thanks. I think I have gray hair. Let's just be honest. Does anybody else here need a holster for one of these while I'm working on? Because I'll knock one out real quick. And by real quick, I mean like in an hour and a half or so. Thanks, guys. Yeah, it looks pretty terrible because I think I had a hat on before I went to bed last night and then slept on it and then I put a hat on again. So it's not at its best, but it's still probably better than 80% of people in America right now. Just throwing that out there. Getting close. I'm gonna warm this back up just a little bit. Does everything sound okay? Am I close enough to the camera and like this heat gun doesn't sound like a blow dryer just going in the background? Sweet. Let's go for try number 2 on this thing. And it may just be that I've got too much block in it, but I'm hoping that this one turns out. You know, I bet if I, we can go this way. So only one of these clamps like works really good. The rest of them kind of slip, but they're from Harbor Freight, so they were only like a few bucks. But I try and put the good one on first, and then the rest of these are just kind of there to hold its place. Stinking gravity. That's getting close to what I want. Have I bought any clamps online? No, these are the only clamps I've had, and I've had them for probably 2 years, I guess. Shoot, I don't know. I may have had them longer than that. I guess I have, because I've been carrying longer than 2 years. I don't know how long I've had them, to be honest with you. What's going on with this? Nope. So I got 10 people in here right now. That's cool. Sweet. I don't know. What do y'all? I feel like I'm not progressing this chat well because I'm paying attention here and I'm just reading what y'all are saying. But you know, you do what you do. Thanks, Fitz. I mean, great may be a slight exaggeration, but all right. This has a little bit to cool off, so I'll give you maybe the the paraphrase version of I was almost a doctor. So I was in college for diagnostic imaging, which is like MRIs and CT scans and stuff like that, which is where the almost a doctor part comes in. Hold on, there's more. So I got all my basics out of the way and I started in the program, and I was in my first hour of observations, like where I'm at a hospital watching people get gallbladder scans and stuff like that. And so this nurse comes in, and I swear she's got this needle like this long and this big around, and she jabs it in this lady, and the other nurse like backs up against the wall and puts her foot on the syringe and is pushing all this green dye in this lady. I hit the floor. Like I couldn't handle it. So I woke up and they were like, did you eat breakfast? And I was like, no. And they're like, go eat breakfast and come back. Long story short, that didn't help. And they were like, you should change your major. Like, this is not for you. So that's when I was almost a doctor. Anyway, tell y'all what I had for lunch. I assume that's what you mean. Jess made chili a couple of nights ago, so I had leftover chili for lunch today. It's nice because it was like 26 degrees when we woke up. It's been like pretty warm for winter. I don't know why I'm putting those gloves on. Things cooled off now. But it's finally like kind of cold, and I was thinking I might be excited about going deer hunting Saturday, and there's a 90% chance of rain, so I probably will sleep in. Yeah. I think I can work with that. So I got what I think is a much cleaner line where that block is there. There's still not just a ton of definition on the trigger guard right there. You can kind of see where it is, but that block just holds the foam off of it. The other side looks pretty good. I don't know. Yeah, there you go. So we'll get that out. I'm gonna throw it in the freezer just to let it finish cooling off some. If I can open the freezer. Yeah, just barely. Yeah, so funny thing, only people blood bothers me, and or fake blood that's been used as people's blood. Because I also passed out in my 12th grade forensics class when we were doing our blood spatter analysis. I say I passed out. I couldn't stand up, and I needed to prop my feet up, and the teacher went and got me a Coke because I was like, white as a ghost. Hey, yeah, thanks for stopping by, Joyce. We doing guns and stuff, so everybody say hey to her. She's a new supporter here, like yesterday, maybe. Anyway, I was in the room when my daughter was born. I fought really hard to not be. So like, my wife was like, "You got to be in there," and I'm like, "Gotta be" is a really strong word, but anyway, so man, that looks pretty good on the top. Anyway, so I left the room for the epidural to tell everyone in the waiting room she was getting an epidural, not just because there was a giant needle going in her back, mostly the latter though. And then I made sure not to look that direction when commotion was afoot. And I didn't pass out. I was pretty proud of myself in that moment. So let's see, there's that. I think I'm going to, yes, exactly. My dad also is really bad with needles and blood, but he has gotten to where he can donate blood for whatever reason, like once a year. And I don't think he passes out, but I don't go in there. So he might, I don't know, who knows. Anyway, yes, that is another Fitzgerald. Fitzyakin, is your last name Fitzgerald, or is it like Fitzpatrick or something other that's Fitz? Fitzgibbons. Yeah, I was close. It's got a G in it. I'm going to attempt to take you outside to my saw, and I'm going to trim this up just a little bit. Let me know. I know the lighting is going to be bad because I've only got one light out here, and my garage is a mess because, you know, I like cut stuff in it. But can I see the chat from here? So let me know if it's choppy or anything because of internet being crappy out here. Does everything sound okay still? What's up, Steph? Just cutting some stuff? Yeah. If it's bad, just bear with me because it won't take too long. Turn this light on. I guess I could have said turn your volume down or take your earbuds out because it's fixing to get loud. But oh well, you know, you live and you learn. So what I do on these is I like to cut the corners, then round them a little bit, which like it's kind of like plastic, so it'll kind of melt in that saw blade. So I'll like cut it and then bring it up the blade a little bit and just roll it like that. And then that way you don't have any sharp edges. And later I'll come back and I'll sand all this, but I'm not gonna do that on camera because that's just loud and noisy and stuff. Loud and more noisy than sawing for a longer period of time. So we'll just get this screwed together first and go from there. All right. Let's see where I am. I feel like that's pretty close to where it was. So, how are you, Steph? Thanks for stopping by. I might have said that earlier, I may have just said hey, but anyway, we're just kind of hanging out and I'm putting stuff together. And about to start sweating. Okay, yeah, let me show you one more thing that I didn't think about. But see how there is a bump right there? I'm gonna have to take a heat gun because if you put pressure on that, that bump right there will lock that in. So when I get it all together, I'll just take a heat gun and kind of flare that out. A blood test? I could have done that if I, you know, wasn't afraid of needles and blood. Let's see. Did you see where those blocks of wood went that I had right here? Hey, Thanks, guys. So, let's see. What I'm going to do now is put a retention screw in here. And that is a screw that goes in and holds retention on the holster. Oh no, gravity. You will be the end of this holster. So what I do, let me show you a close-up of the screw. It's just like a little post and, you know, whatever. It goes through there and it's just got a flat head on one side. And what I do, I'll take a piece of fuel line that's the same diameter as the post, cut that as a spacer. It kind of acts as like a lock washer because you can tighten down on it and it presses back against it. And then I just take some windshield washer hose and put it on the outside of the holster. It just kind of makes it look good and clean. But you want to help and be here, Steph, or are you talking to somebody else that's funny? Oh, yeah, thanks. Man, like, why didn't y'all tell me that my neck looks retarded when I'm looking down at my phone? Like, what is that? Well, I'll just be like this the rest of the night, I guess. So, my neck, let me tell you a story. So, one of my wife's friends when we were dating in high school always said that I had an extra vertebrae, which it's not as noticeable now that I have a beard that comes halfway down my neck, but like when I'm clean shaven, it looks like I have an extra vertebrae. So, but also like in high school, like my traps were really big because I used to just do curls all the time and I didn't do them right and I would pick up with my shoulders first. And so my traps got pretty big. So it kind of distracted from my extra long neck, but I haven't worked out in like 9 years or so. So it's been a while. Like I need this to not be down there because then I catch myself looking down there and I don't like that. Anyway, so where am I at? I'm putting this thing together. Scroll up and read Julie's question. Did you learn this? So I just watched some YouTube videos on it. Some people at church told me that I could build a whole. I carry a revolver. And there's not a lot of options for revolvers because they're not popular, I guess, whatever. So they're like, yeah, you can just make it. Just buy some kydex and make it. I'm like, yeah, right. So I got on YouTube and watched like a dozen videos on how to make holsters. And I was like, yeah, I can probably do that. Before I do anything, I think I'm going to go ahead and take care of that bump so I don't screw this retention up. So I've got some aluminum tape or aluminium for those that are across the pond, either direction. And I'm just going to put that on either side of this little bump right here so that only the part of the kydex that I want to heat up gets heated up. You can pretty much learn anything on YouTube. I guess there's some restrictions on what they can put on there. And like there for a while, gun videos were getting like heavily like stricken, like 3 strikes and you're out kind of stuff, and just because like whatever. But you can learn a pretty good bit of stuff on YouTube, which quite a bit, I guess. Like I guess the basis of all this I learned on YouTube. The tips, little tricks and stuff here and there. It was just trial and error. Like I don't know that there's another video on there that says tape off your gun like this, but it's what I do, and they work, and they come out pretty good. I think. Maybe they don't. Maybe people are just really nice, and they're like, yeah, it's great. But if that's the case, then don't have them come back on me. Oh wow, that is something I wouldn't have thought you could have done on YouTube. I would not have guessed that. I figured that balance couldn't be taught or something. Pretty sure that you're not going to see a popsicle stick used on YouTube for building a kydex holster, except for right here on if it fits a base, because you know it's just how we roll here. Yeah, I learned how to build a bow rack on YouTube also, but I quit bow hunting several years ago, so I haven't built one yet. Hey, the end of that heat gun is hot, by the way, like scorching hot. Oh, geez, Joy. Come on now. Tell me that you got clickbaited on that one. Like somebody's like, watch these beautiful creatures in the wild as they thrive. And then you're like, oh, cute monkeys. And then you're like, oh, not so cute monkeys. Oh, yeah. Thanks. I also assume that you gave a thumbs up because you're enjoying what you see here. And building a holster, too. So, I'll show you what I just did. Bam. You see how I just bumped that out right there? You probably don't because lighting's terrible. But anyway, yeah, not too bad. I actually, if you can see, it's a little bit like right there. The kydex got really close to being too hot, but I saved it. Did you just end that sentence in a preposition, Lacey? Also, Amazon. This gun is called a TZ, like, what's a word that starts with a T? Tricycle zebra 75. It's a clone of a C as in Charlie Zebra 75. I don't know anything about automatics. It's a 9mm, which is actually technically a 9x19 because of the metric system. Because a 9mm and a 380 and a 38 and a 357 and a 9x25 Dillon and a 357 SIG and about 60 other things are the same size bullet, so they give different designations, but they're all about 9mm, so you probably didn't want that much. What am I doing? Oh, screws. Tyrannosaurus. I wanted to say pterodactyl, and I was like, crap, that starts with a P. But dinosaurs. I'm with you on that one. It's close. It's a 9mm, and it's close. That's basically right. Let's see. Perfect. Yeah. I feel like I'm missing something in the chat, but whatever, guys. Also, the screen on this phone is cracked, and I can't read anyway, so it's just a bad combination. Thanks. I'm assuming that that's Judy Ann, because I feel like you told me once that, is it Louis? I want to say that it's, you can go back and read the comments later. Yeah, but then that's reading, and that's like my fourth least favorite thing to do. Yeah, I feel like you told me that he doesn't. Yeah, he's a watcher. So you just spelt his name Louis there, but I feel like I've read it with an S one time. Am I just going crazy? That throws me off, like Illinois and stuff like that. Like, don't be putting S's in words that you don't want me to pronounce, because I'm going to pronounce them. This gun is so stinking heavy. Like, and it's not loaded. Like, it would hold, I don't know, bullets. I actually think that's a single stack, so it probably wouldn't hold but like maybe 8. I do know some stuff about automatics, but anyway. Yes, okay. That's what, like, I feel like the first long time that I was subscribed to y'all, I just called him Lewis, and I was like, that's probably not right. I think there's a W in that name. Alright. Now, yes, and Frankfurt's the capital. Kentucky people are weird too. Although I will say, while I was up in Michigan, there was a guy with an Alabama hat on, and was asking him about that. He was like, "Yeah, my cousin down in Mobile sent this to me," and we're like, "No, we didn't. There's no such place as Mobile, Alabama. It's Mobile." So this is what that's gonna look like. Let me see. I guess the delay is killing me on that. But anyway, so I've just got to screw this to that. Got to put some holes in there. And that's why I bumped that out so that it's not up against the gun. But this kind of contours up against your hip. And then those, like, you can actually wear this without wearing a belt. They're pretty cool. I've never bought this brand before, but I usually buy them on eBay, but I had to buy Kydex and I needed more money in the cart for free shipping. So this is what it was on Amazon. But anyway, those little teeth right there kind of bite into your waistline on your pants. So when you go to draw, the holster stays in your pants and the gun comes out like it's supposed to. So let's see what we can do. Hang on just a second. I feel like straight down. Okay. Wait, am I missing more stuff? Yeah, we usually go down to like Fort Morgan and stuff down there. I know that's not exactly Mobile, but we've been. Wow, that was a lot thicker than I was expecting it to be. Been down to Mobile a few times. We've cruised out of there a couple of times and visited some family of a friend down there one time. Yeah, that was a lot better. I must have just hit a hard spot on that or something. None of you have a Sharpie that I could borrow real quick, do you? Alright, thanks for stopping by, Joy. Appreciate it. Have a great night. And happy Friday, early Friday, I guess. Yeah, a purple Sharpie would be great. Just go ahead and text that over to me. So this is the paddle where it came from. If anybody's interested in that. So far, it looks pretty good. You do have to drill your own holes in them. A lot of clips and stuff come like pre-drilled, but that's not too big a deal because you're gonna have to drill something anyway. And then it comes with a pair of these this hardware, so that's pretty nice. It's kind of like standard, I guess, but and then a little spacer. That's what, if you buy spacers, that's what they look like, but it's basically just fuel line, so that's what I use because it's a whole lot cheaper. I do like, man, there's that sweet over bending neck thing going in. I do like that I have 7 people watching, and most of them are girls, and they're watching a guy put gun accessories together. So those are a little bit bigger. I mean, I'm married, and I'm happily married, but my wife understands that I'm a gorgeous human being. So oh, let's see. I don't know if I've kind of stripped out the head of these. Phillips head screws are the worst. Like, I hate them because this is what and I'm sure it's messed with them. This is what all of my Phillips head bits wind up looking like. Let's see, focus. Hey, by the way, if you wave at a camera, it doesn't make it focus. Let's try this right here. Yeah, so all of mine wind up looking like that, and they don't grip at all. I've got some other ones, but this is just like the one that came with that drill. But they'll all eventually look like that. Yeah, so you say that about the locks and stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you another story. My wife is like 13 months older than me. I was one of the oldest in my class, and she was one of the youngest in hers. And so she was a senior, and I was a sophomore. And she was not about to date a sophomore. But I had heard through some connections that she was a big fan of curly hair, so I started growing my hair out. And lo and behold, it was enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm super modest. And like in all seriousness, in some seriousness, I do say that I'm good at a lot of stuff, but I have never said that I'm great or the best at anything except for bike race. There was a game when I first got my smartphone called Bike Race, and and I was the best at it. I'm not anymore, but at one time I was the best. Like I had over 5,000 wins on multiplayer, and I mean I was just unbeatable. Like there were courses that I could just do in like 2 or 3 seconds that were like supposed to be 20-second courses. I'm just like, I'm good. What can I say? How long has this thing been going? That didn't help. I bet it tells me on my phone. My other phone. An hour. Yeah, 50 more minutes somewhere in there. Sweet. Let's see what that looks like. Looks pretty clean. Where are we? So Jess and Charlie had to go help my sister with something, and they're down at my sister's house right now. Okay, yeah, so there's that. Can you see? Oop. I'll get a close up here in a second, but bam, pop, pop. May need to tighten up that retention just a little bit, but that sits pretty good. Does that look like it's straight up and down? I feel like it does. Anyway, it sits in there pretty good. Cool, the first product. What? Am I missing something? What's up, sweet and savory? How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Tighten this down just a little bit. Oh no, I shouldn't have put that in there backwards. Dang. So let me show you what I did. And it's not a big deal. But so this, where the retention screw is there, that's just a flat. Why are you not focusing? Anyway, okay, there we go. It's just flat, and where you would adjust that is now under this. So I'm just going to take that off and flip that screw around so you can still adjust it without having to take this off. But anyway, there again, like I said, never used this this paddle, and had I put the retention screw down just like another half an inch, it would have worked fine. But you learn something, like I said, learn something every time I do one. So do most of y'all know Sweet and Savory? Like, I feel like I meet most of the people that support me on most of y'all's channels, so I feel like most of y'all know each other, but I don't know, just checking it out. What I was gonna say is Sweet and Savory is like an ASMR channel, obviously, but like I'm not really big into it, but I can get into her channel. Like for some reason, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. The rest of them are kind of like not my thing. Like, but yeah, it's cool. Like she'll blow bubble gum or whatever, and I think a lot of it too is sometimes she eats like some really delicious looking cheesecake or tacos or something, and I'm like, yeah. So, what did you say you carried a SIG, or you had a SIG P220? Was that it? Can't remember. It seems like I've had several people ask me that were like truck forums or something. And one guy posted a link to like an eBay thing where they had a blue gun for like $40. And I thought if I could get like 4 or 5 people to want holsters, because I like this holster right here, I really didn't make any money on because I had to order kydex because I was out. And then, the paddle is a $45 holster, and I've got $30, $34 in it. But usually I don't have to buy kydex, and that was $24 of it. So usually I have not a whole lot. I usually try to make $25 or $30 on a holster. But if I could get like 3 or 4 people that would buy a holster for that blue gun, I could still make some money and then have that blue gun. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm getting kind of rambly now. Yeah, sweet. The P230, okay. Like, and again, I don't know, like I know a lot of Glocks have the same like width barrel, and basically if a holster fits a 1911, it fits all 1911s. So I don't know anything about SIGs really, because like I said, nobody around here even has them. So I've shot one, and I'm almost 31, and I've shot a lot of guns, but SIGs just aren't popular in Alabama. I think. Oh, okay. Would the little Browning 1911, would it work? It's like a 3/4 1911, and it's a 380. Because if that's the case, I actually do have access to one of those, and that's probably the nicest 380 I've ever held. Like, most of them are kind of rinky-dink. I mean, like purse guns, pocket guns, but like it had some heft to it, and it felt like I was actually holding a gun, And it was pretty nice. So yeah, I was pretty big on that platform at 380s, but I carry 357, so I feel like I get a lot of crap for going from a 357 down to a 380. Yeah, if they'll fit, I'll see if I can get that if you want me to, and I can make for you. I've actually got. I'm trying to think. Do you have Instagram or Twitter? Hey, you know what? Lacey, do you like my kydex page on Facebook? Anyway, if one of my mods, if they'll go to Facebook, I should have probably made my other account. It would have been really smart of me. It would have been really smart if I'd have made this account a mod, and then I could have done it. But so if you can go to my Facebook and click on Fits Perfect Custom Kydex Holsters. I think that's the name of it. Fits perfect. Yeah, that sounds good. That's probably something. Oh, so Lacey, go to Facebook. Lacey, go to Facebook and go to my page, and then go to Fits Perfect Custom Kydex Holsters from my page. It should be right there close to where If It Fits It Bakes is, and then drop that link in here. Sweet, thanks. Oh yeah, just whoever can get there first, or both of you. I was thinking that Lacey had liked my page on that, but you know, that's probably just the narcissist in me thinking that everybody I know likes everything I do. And there should be a picture of that little browning in there, which I don't do those style clips. Yeah, that's probably it. What's up, holster? You need any holsters? Just finished this one up, man. I gotta do a little polishing and stuff on it, but nice little paddle holster. Like I said, I gotta run a little palm sander across it, and I may take a heat gun and kind of flare that in a little bit, but for the most part, that turned out pretty good. I don't know why I like to reach across the island and then come up here. Oh man. So yeah. And apparently that paddle was made in the USA. But anyway, pretty cool stuff. So I just saw that my battery was almost gone on my phone. I've got like 12%. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Thanks everybody that hung out. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Thanks for hanging out with me from start to finish, really, most of you. Okay. Okay, yeah, just whatever, just holler at me, and look through there. You can see kind of some other stuff that I've done. Don't criticize me too hard on some of it, because I've been building holsters for like 3 years, and 2.5 years ago I was really bad at it, and 2 years ago I was pretty bad at it, and about a year ago I started getting decent at it. Anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out. It in 550, and I'll do another stream in like 50 subs or so, like always. Yeah, thanks Jimmy, thanks everybody. See y'all tomorrow probably. Take it easy.